Hi, Healing Fam. Gina Tumesi here, your favorite psych nurse practitioner, coming at you with another video. And today we are talking about weaponization of visitation by co-parent, parallel parent, whatever you might have going on. On this channel, I talk about everything relating to mental health with a special focus on trauma, healing trauma, high conflict, narcissistic, abusive relationships, intimate or otherwise, how to heal from a breakup, from separation, from divorce, and level up after that. You can't just heal, but you gotta level up. Now, I wanted to kind of highlight a few comments that came my way. And also, just leave me a comment, leave me a like, share, so we can carry forward this work of healing our trauma from childhood, ongoing trauma, small t, big T trauma, and all the things in between. So we can live a marvelous, beautiful life despite crappy childhood, despite having ongoing trauma, and being able to carrying on with life, picking our pain, right? Not just wishing it away, but doing the work, the skill building to do life despite that. So on this particular topic, it got a lot of people talking because of the current ongoing situationship with DDJ and Halle Bailey. Some people were highlighting the fact that this thing would have been better if DDJ was married to Halle. But I also wanted to preface that it's not always true. Being married could give you the leverage, especially when it comes to children, being involved, vulnerable children, which in this case it is. When you are separated, divorced, the court will give you a schedule. Not to say, this is why I intentionally say parallel parenting, because a lot of times if you have a high conflict, narcissistic, chaotic, drama-filled partner that you're supposed to co-parent, is not always co-parenting. It ends up being parallel parenting or just doing the best you can, especially as a mother, because most mothers become the default parent, or the parents that's the primary parent from the children, like in my case. So you just do the best. If this parent is very high conflict, vindictive, narcissistic, manipulative, controlling, even though you're not with them, he's still going to use visitations as a way to control, to continuously use, remotely control the temperature in your home, to get your energy, even if it's negative energy, because some people feed off of your energy in that way. So you have to be aware of these things by learning. Not just talking about these things, but knowing that these are things that actually plague our families when it comes to raising children with such in such dynamic, so you can minimize the impact of trauma. And I'll talk a little bit about what causes, or what are the reasons why this type of narratives happen with inconsistent, if you want to call it, deadbeat fathers. So I did a video on Dr. Umar's daughter talking about the same thing. And this thing can be more prevalent, unfortunately, in our African communities. Sometimes even in marriage situations, single and married, is a very big pandemic going on in our community, African communities, the Ghanaian community, so to speak. So in regards to weaponizing visitations, one of the comments mentioned that I kind of attached me, and I wanted to it was another creators, but it just helps highlight the point even better. And then I'll talk a little bit about research when I went on Psychology Today on the dark psychology of why this thing's becoming a big problem in our society. He doesn't owe the children nothing. This is exactly why they die alone in the nursing homes. And this is true. A lot of these men, when you break up, because you've seen all the patterns, right? So ladies, you have to recognize the pattern of some of these men. You stay with them. That's why I talk about, should I stay, should I go, should I stay? It takes a lot for a woman to walk away from an intimate relationship and being silenced, not being heard, being manipulated, being gaslit, being stonewalled, the silent treatment. Some of these men would give you the silent treatment, will give you so much drama and chaos, uncertainty, cheating, STIs for so long before it can break you, or you just say, this is enough, it's not healthy for you, or is it healthy for your children? Because they're not willing to reflect, they're not willing to do the work, they're not willing to be teachable, they're not willing to hear or listen. You can cry, pray, go to your pastor, all the stuff. If he's not willing to do all that, there's no point for you to be there. You're just perpetrating more trauma on yourself and the children, truthfully. A lot of men, how they feel about the kid is attached to the baby mama or to the mother. If you're an ex-wife or soon to be ex-wife, or wherever you are, should I go, should I stay? And I have really good intuition. I've grown to respect, acknowledge, and own my intuition when it comes to that. Sometimes even in dreams, I have a lot of dreams that will reveal to me some of this stuff. And I had revelations in the realms, and this might be a little bit about could men potentially start to really disdain their own children because they disdain the mother of their children. And until I read this comment and many other more, and I heard other creators talk about this phenomenon, did I make peace?
I snooped in my fiance's phone while he was sleeping, and I wish I didn't. So female 23, the other night, I just had a feeling to check my fiance's phone. I'm not sure why, but my intuition was telling me to check in case. I'm also a nosy. I'm glad you're real with yourself, girl. Anyway, I decided to check, and I found lots of porn. Some looked to be older, maybe he saved them a long time ago, but many were recent. Checked his history, and it was very clear he watches a lot of it, which is fine. I mean, I watch too, but then as I kept looking in his search history, I saw that while he was in DR for a slimming trip, he searched up escorts in Dominican Republic, and I could see he visited at least 2 websites. I also saw links from another date for escorts in DC. Mind you, I just found out yesterday that he went to
Washington, DC. Because DR and now DC.
Yeah.
Okay.
It says DC. Mind you, I just found out yesterday that he went to the strip club in DR and never told me. I had to find out from his sister-in-law because he was going to, according to him, tell me on his own time. Anyway, I don't know how to feel about seeing these searches. Strippers is one thing, but escorts is another.
I've literally been debating making this video for days, but TikTok might not even exist anymore, so like, fuck it. This is what I found when I went through his phone. First of all, I'm not even like the go through your phone kind of person. Never have, never will. But a few days before we had dinner, he literally ambushed me out of nowhere and was like, unlock your phone. Let me see what's in your phone. And I'm like, what? Why? He was like, you can have my phone. Go ahead and look through it. Let me see what's in your phone. I was like, of course I can, because you prepared for this ambush. And so he went through my phone. I was completely unprepared. So he saw raw data. He saw me for who I am. And I just let him, because what am I going to say? We're in a relationship, right? Whatever. And so he caught me off guard with that. And so, yeah, I went through his phone at that time, but he cleaned and prepped his phone. So when we went to dinner, I wanted to catch him off guard the same way he caught me off guard so I could see some real shit. And that's why I went through his phone at dinner. He snatched it from me, so I didn't get to see anything. But the next day, like that same day when we had dinner, I was like, why wouldn't you let me go through your phone? I let you go through mine, blah, blah, blah. And he was blah, blah, blah. But then the next day, he was like, okay, you can go through my phone now. I was like, oh my God, what a king. Thank you. You had another day and a half to prep your phone, and now I can go through it. Thank you. I still did it anyway, so here's what I found. So he obviously prepped it because I went to the messages first, and there was not a single message thread with another woman since like 2019. Like, be so FFR. So I clicked on the search in the messages, And I saw that the day before he had searched for his most recent ex, his second most recent ex, and this bartender girl that he tried to get with before me, because he told me about it. So I didn't see any messages, but I saw that the day before he searched for all three of them. To me, evidence enough. Okay, evidence enough, whatever. And then I went to his Cash App and I saw that when I was in Cincinnati, he tipped a bartender $100 directly to her Cash App. And that pissed me off because, like, when you order drinks and you get the slip and you can tip right there, I would never know. But you took her number probably and Cash Apped her directly $100 for the 3 drinks you ordered for yourself. You're a trick. Like, be so serious. Pissed me off. And then the third thing that I found, I went through his Google Photos. Traumatized. I went through his Google Photos and, like, everything that he has ever been sent, created, explicit content was in that folder. And when I tell you I was scrolling, and not only did I see some nasty things, like nasty things, I saw myself. I was in the folder and it just was like such an icky feeling. Like, I felt like a collectible, you know what I mean? Like, ew, brother, ew. Like, I was sick to my stomach, fam. Oh my God. But that is what I found. Please, no more questions, because still dealing with this situation. But that is a story time. That's what I found. Yeah.
Do not go through your man's phone while he's sleeping. Don't do that. Don't go in his settings and create your own Face ID, because now you know the password to his phone. Don't create your own Face ID, because with that Face ID, you will always have access to his phone. And 9 times out of 10, he don't even know you got Face ID on there, because you're not going to tell him you made a Face ID on there, because it's none of his business. And now, even if he changes his passcode, your face will unlock his phone. Unless he deletes your face code from his phone, you will always have access to his phone. Do not go in the settings and look up the word password, because in the word password, it has this little part where it stores all of his passwords that he has saved with his Face ID. So now you have all the passwords to his social media accounts and whatever account you need. Don't do that. And especially because even if he changes his password, you still have access to all of his passwords, because now you know it. And now you have your Face ID on there. Do not do that. Do not do that.
Whenever a girl goes through her man's phone because she suspects something's going on, there's a few places she's always going to go look to check to see if she can find anything. And all of those places are the wrong places, and I'm going to tell you why, and I'm going to tell you where you need to actually check on his phone. Please don't come at me with that, oh my gosh, privacy is important. Don't act like you've never gone through someone's phone. The first thing that you might go and do is check his messages. Don't do that. The next place you might go is his call log, just to see if he's been chatting to anyone on the phone. Don't do that. You might have a gut instinct to go check the app store. Don't do that. That is a good place though, I will say. Don't spend the next 5 to 10 minutes that you have to be able to scour this man's phone and look for one of those hidden calculator apps that have all these hidden files on it. Don't do it. Time is of the essence here. And you're not going to go into his notes folder. You're not going to check the guy's group chat either, unless you really want to cry and lose all faith in the male population. You're not going to go through his Instagram DMs. You know where you are going to run to go check? His recent emojis. I swear that your man is not sending water droplets, a bunch of flirty emojis, eggplant emojis, peach emojis to all of his friends. He might be, but then you have other things on your hands.
I went through my boyfriend's phone when he was sleeping and all through his group chat with the boys. That instantly gives me nerves in my stomach. Flipped. First off, I found out his friends have a nickname for me. They don't explain why, but I have a horrible feeling it's about a sex issue that we had previously.
What's the nickname?
She's not said.
Oh.
My boyfriend calls me this too in the chat.
Nah. See if that's something cheeky, that's so disrespectful.
Maybe it gives away too much saying what it is.
This is going to make a bit funny, get thrash. Cottage cheese is saying
don't ask her.
I'm joking. Regardless of what the word is, it's absolutely height of disrespect.
I also discovered that one of his best friends is cheating on his girlfriend with several girls every weekend, and the boys are all encouraging it and laughing at her for not knowing. And finally, I found that they've all booked a lads' holiday for next year, and I know nothing about it.
Benham.
I checked my husband's phone only to find my sister's nudes all over his gallery. Learn from my heart. I belong to the class of women who doesn't check their husband's phone. I made a law never to reason his phone. My husband is a very strict person and he likes his privacy to be respected, and I also respect that. We share different rooms. I only sleep in his room when he calls me for sex. Aside nothing, I sleep in my own room. Are you happy in such kind of marriage? Well, yes, I am, because I lack nothing. I have everything I need, so why looking for what's not looking for me? Does he fulfill his husband's duties and responsibilities? Yes, he does. So I was occupied with the sweetness which never allowed me to check his phone. My husband became sick one day and I took him to the hospital. I needed to get a number from his phone since he was weak and unable to do so. He then told me his password. I opened it and took the number and dropped the phone back. A nurse came to inject him and he was shaking and crying like a baby. I decided to document such funny moments. I took the phone again, opened it with the password he gave to me. I snapped and filmed what he was displaying. He slept off after the injection. I decided to snap him again. After that, I opened the gallery to look at the pictures I took. I was smiling and scrolling not until I saw my elder sister's nakedness all over the phone. What's happening here? I asked myself. I kept scrolling. It was more than 15 pictures plus my husband's own. Jesus Christ, I shouted. I was powered to go check their WhatsApp messages. I found that my sister and my husband have been dating. My sister is the side chick. My own sister told my husband to stop sleeping with me and that she is tired of sharing him. I am still in shock. What do I do?
I have caught so many exes cheating that it's made me a pro over time at finding out. When you look at their phone, look at their screen time. On their screen time, you can see if they've been on any shady sites, if they say they haven't been on any dating apps or they have dating apps downloaded. By the way, about that, I found out that a lot of people have partners that have dating apps downloaded on their phone, but they say, oh, but I don't use it, so it's fine. You can go in that. First of all, that's problematic in and of itself. Why do they even have it downloaded? But second of all, you can go in their screen time and see if that's true, if they have like 20 notifications from Tinder. That's how I found out one of my exes was still on Raya. I was like, oh, you're not on Raya? Why'd you get 20 notifications on Wednesday? Google Photos. I didn't necessarily find someone cheating on Google Photos, but I found thousands of photos and videos of their exes. And not the completely appropriate kind. Oh Becca, I don't know any of his account passwords. Go on Safari. If you know that he has a profile in something, even if you don't know the password of it, search up whatever that website is, and then go and put like his email and then put the wrong password in, and it's gonna give you an option of your keychain on the Safari of like his saved passwords. It'll show you all of his passwords. Majority of people have their like passwords saved to like save this password on this website on their phone, and it's accumulated like 20 passwords. So now you have all their passwords. I personally count OnlyFans as cheating, but that's just my preference. If you're like, oh my god, I didn't find anything on his phone, check his laptop. Some people delete things on their phone but don't delete it on the laptop, and sometimes the cloud doesn't fully like sync up in that way, so there'll be messages on their laptop that's not on their phone. Further than that, if they're a pro, check their Apple Watch. Secret, Apple Watch never deletes text messages. So if you have to, I have had to look at someone's Apple Watch and like scroll through with the little dial while they're sleeping, while it's still on their person. There's probably better or easier ways to do that than looking through an Apple Watch while it's still on its human, but you gotta do what you gotta do. I dated someone for 2.5 years that had parental control password on their phone, like what you're supposed to put on a child's phone. So whenever he wanted to go search at a new website for even like school or something, it'd be like, please put in your password. And he have to be like, babe, can you put in this password? This is why I want to go on this website, like a child. Okay, this video is like 5 minutes long, so I'm probably gonna stop it here, but there's definitely other things if you guys want other tips or whatever. Love you guys, bye.
Hey girl, what would you do if you found another girl's nudes on your boyfriend's phone? This has happened. I need your advice on how to address this situation. Thank you, love you. Ugh, girl. My boyfriend was sexting his ex and all of her nudes were on his phone, and I found them and I was like, oh no, you need to address it and I think you need to leave him. So sorry, ? If these are nudes that like some girl sent to him and they're on his phone, I don't know how else like they would have ended up in his camera roll. It's not giving boyfriend material. I don't think we stay with him. Alex would personally leave. She would show the proof. She would say hello, ? And then she would dip. Alex is not putting up with that.
Did you ever have a time where you checked his phone and you noticed that he's got texts from other women? And the problem was not the fact that he was cheating or that he was texting all these other women. It was the fact that you invaded his privacy. That you actually broke the laws of privacy of phones because you looked at his phone when you weren't supposed to be looking at his phone. This could come out of even like, well, you wouldn't be hurt or you wouldn't be frustrated if you hadn't looked through my phone. Like, I can't believe you did that. Like, I can't believe how hurt I am because you looked through my phone. And oftentimes you'll have someone like this who wants to hide something. A man that doesn't have anything to hide means, hey, look through my phone. Like, I don't care because I don't have anything to hide from you. The man that has something to hide will always get upset, will always get frustrated when you look through their phone.
I hacked into my husband's phone today and I read some concerning messages. Rip them or sit on. No, that's cool. Rip them. I want them. LOL. Yeah, I think I'm gonna rip them, but I'll save the box. Based on the conditions of things, it looks like it's worth finding out. Want to see me rip a box? Yeah, that would be awesome. Good deal, regardless.
So I was looking through my man's phone because we were about to write a note on his phone. Let me see it. Let me show them what I saw. I was about to be so mad at him. You can see it. It says future wife. And it has our first date, February 22nd. Dunkin' order. Oh, my Dunkin' order. Wears gold jewelry. Oh my gosh. Hates tomatoes, hates olives. Chipotle order. You have the flowers I like too? Puppy. Oh my gosh. Favorite artist, Olivia Rodrigo, Taylor Swift, Lil Baby still on there. Zach Bryan. Oh, my sizes too. What's that for? Oh, like gifts and stuff?
Time and time again, women do not realize how far in advance a man knows he's going to marry you. And a good man at that is going to make sure that he knows all of these things about you. What I personally love is that this man obviously gets her food quite often because he had like 4 different meal options. The man is smart. He knows what he's doing.